This is the 2026 Kia Carnival SX Prestige, and I know what some of you are already thinking. Nope, I'm not a minivan person, but hang on, because after spending time with this vehicle, I think the Carnival might be one of the easiest family vehicles to underestimate. Yeah, it looks more like an SUV than a traditional minivan. It has a surprisingly upscale cabin. It has ridiculous people space, and depending on how you actually use this every day, this might make more sense than half of the three-row SUVs people are cross-shopping. So today here on Dave Drives, I'm not giving you a spec sheet review. I'm asking a much simpler question. Would I actually drive this on a daily basis? First thing is the design. What do you think? Kia has done a pretty good job making the Carnival not scream old school minivan. Yeah, it has a boxy shape, a big confident front end, and from certain angles, it really does give off more of an SUV vibe. Now, let's be honest, it still has sliding doors. I like that. It still has minivan proportions. Nobody's confusing this with a Telluride after 5 seconds. But that's also the point. The sliding doors are not a weakness. They're a cheat code for parents. If you have kids, car seats, grandparents, sport bags, groceries, dogs, Costco runs, whatever, sliding doors make life a lot easier, period. And once you stop caring about the minivan label, you start realizing how useful this thing actually is. Now on the road, it feels exactly how a good family vehicle should feel. Easy, calm, comfortable. It's not trying to be sporty. Honestly, I don't want it to be. I don't need a family hauler pretending it's a performance SUV. What I want is something that drives smoothly, doesn't beat you up, doesn't feel clumsy in town, and makes long drives feel less annoying. And that's where the Carnival works. The driving position is comfortable, visibility is solid, the ride feels relaxed, and the whole thing has that big, stable, planted feel that makes it easy to settle into. This is the kind of vehicle where you get in, drive for 5 minutes and say, yeah, I could do a road trip in this. Inside my trim is where the Carnival really starts making its argument. This doesn't feel like punishment. It feels open. The layout is clean. The tech is right there without feeling too confusing. And depending on your setup, this trim can feel surprisingly premium for something built around moving people and gear. And that's what surprised me the most. I expected practical. I expected roomy. I did not expect it to feel nice from the driver's seat, or at least not this nice. And for families, that matters because the driver is the one living with it every single day. You got the school drop-offs, work commute, errands, weekend trips, practices, appointments, airport runs. If you're going to spend that much time in a vehicle, it shouldn't feel like a rolling compromise every time you step in. Now, the second row is where the Carnival starts embarrassing a lot of SUVs because this is the part that three-row SUV owners don't always want to admit. Minivans are just better at moving people. The step in height is easier, the door opening is better, the room is better, getting kids in and out is a lot easier. Adults don't have to fold themselves in half to climb in the back. And in my trim, the SX Prestige again, if you have the VIP style second row setup, it takes that comfort level even further. This is not just kids in the back seating, this is legitimate road trip seating. And if you're carrying passengers a lot, that alone might be the reason to look at it instead of another SUV. And cargo space is another big win. With a lot of three-row SUVs, once that third row is up, cargo area sometimes gets tight. This Carnival gives you much more usable shape and space. Plenty for groceries, luggage, camera bags, sports gear, strollers, folding chairs. This is the stuff people actually carry around. I know I do. And the Carnival feels built for that reality. It doesn't just have space, it has usable space. That's a big difference. Now, what annoyed me? Well, the size is still there. It's not a small vehicle. Parking lots, tight spaces, narrow streets can remind you that you're driving something built to carry a family and half their belongings. And even though Kia has done a great job making it look more SUV-like, some buyers still won't be able to get past the minivan image. I get it. That's not really the Carnival's fault. That's just the badge in people's brains. But from a practical standpoint, that image problem might be the only thing holding some shoppers back. Would I daily drive it? Yes, of course. I loved it this week. If I were choosing purely based on usefulness, comfort, space, how easy it makes everyday life, the Carnival would be very high on my list. It may not have that cool factor of a rugged SUV, but for real life, it makes a lot of sense. And the more you spend time with it, the more the old minivan jokes start to sound kind of ridiculous. Now, I can tell you what it's like to drive, but before you decide for your test drive if you want the Carnival in your driveway, check pricing in your area from qualified dealerships at quotes.everymandriver.com first. It's a free site that lets you search for the lowest prices in your zip code. If you don't find what you're looking for in your zip code, expand it because the better deal might be one town over. And don't look just at MSRP. Compare actual pricing near you before you walk into a showroom because a smart family vehicle only stays smart if the price makes sense. So that's my real-world drive impressions of this 2026 Kia Carnival and my SX Prestige. Yep, comfortable, useful, surprisingly upscale, and probably more practical than a lot of three-row SUVs. Now, I want to hear from you. Would you drive one? Or are you still picking a three-row SUV no matter what? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more real-world drive impressions, and I hope to see you in the next one.
One final note, if you are in the market for a new vehicle soon, great. Connect with your local dealership and price and test drive at least 3 different vehicles. A vehicle's strengths and weaknesses can only be discovered when you are behind the wheel. My reviews can be good, but you need to test drive these yourself. Visit quotes.everymandriver.com, select the make, model, and your zip code, and you'll get invoice pricing in your area on those vehicles. Shop smarter with price quotes at quotes.everymandriver.com.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.